Back to the import drag racing circuits event at Atco, New Jersey. I'm Ted Jones, and this is Inside Drag Racing. Now, there's a new force that has emerged. Matter of fact, not from this country. He has some down-under roots, so to speak. We'll find out about that in a minute. It's Peter Farrell, Supercars. You met him 2 weeks ago. You saw him in the finals down at Atlanta, Georgia, right here on Inside Drag Racing. He has won his first round of competition here at Atco. Well, Peter, you did well. You've won the first round of competition. How's the car running at this event?
My PFS Mazda RX7 is running really phenomenal. Considering all the driveline stock in this, we're using the original transmission, and this morning we ran our best time ever of a 10.2 at 135 miles an hour. And so this is in a car that literally you could put an exhaust on and a tag and drive on the street. So I'm very, very proud of that, and pleased that I did win the first round. But you know, there's a couple more to go, but we're confident we can win this event today.
Hey, mate, you can't be from the States, right?
No, I'm an import myself from down under. I'm a Kiwi from New Zealand, and that, so, yeah, a little bit of an accent here. Doesn't slow me down on the track, though.
What are your racing background?
Well, actually, I've had a long career in professional motorsport. The last 10 years spent professional road racing. I was 1991 IMSA champion in the Firehawk series, and prior to that in New Zealand I was a pro rally driver, so I've raced on the dirt. I've spent a decade racing in events from the Long Beach Grand Prix to the Pikes Peak Hillclimb and Sebring, so I have a lot of time on the track, and just this year I rolled over to drag racing.
Why drag racing and why import drag racing?
Well, you know, I have an aftermarket products business, Peter Farrell Supercars, where we make performance products for these Mazda RX7s. So I see no better showcase than to bring it out here to the track. And the import drag racing is really growing these days. And frankly, my customer base are all following this sort of racing. So I figured the best promotion I could have for my products was to bring them to the track and race them.
Now, as if running 10.2s with a rotary engine Mazda isn't enough to terrify all the import guys, guess what? The bad news is Peter's moving over into Hondas next. More on that on a future edition of Inside Drag Racing. Right now, we'll take a pause from the action here at Atco, have more reports from Ken Stout and Brett Kepner after Bill Kuhlman brings us this week's Performance Tip. The Performance Tip. Professional tips on the latest performance technology available with Bill 200-mile-per-hour Kuhlman. Items featured on the Performance Tip are available from Summit Racing Equipment. 30 years of low prices and expert at Now our final will be the Power 6 category. A pair of RX7s, and your attention please to the near lane. That's Peter Farrell. This is one run in RX7, wheel to wheel, the Manassas, Virginia, transplanted from Britain driver, 1051. 133. IDR was brought to you by Stu Evans Motorsport. We race it, we sell it, we service it. And Castrol GTX, engineered for greater protection against breakdown. It's Peter Farrell, the road racing champion. He's out of Manassas, Virginia now against Kurt Gordon from Huntington Beach, California. Long tow to get here to Atco, New Jersey from Huntington Beach. And the little Mazda RX7 of Peter Farrell picks up the win, 10-11, 135 miles per hour. And our final heads-up, no breakout, Commerce, Georgia, for continued coverage of the NIRA Toyo Tire Import Finals. The car show is an important part of every NIRA event. This final event was no exception in Georgia. Very nice weather, just a little hot. Skies, though, partly cloudy, no threat of rain, and that's the way, believe me, we'd rather have it. We're ready to go in the semifinal round of the Power 6. A quick look right here at exactly how our semifinalists advance into that round. And they're burning out toward the starting line. This is Peter Farrell, the number 2 qualifier here in the near lane with his Mazda RX-7 against Alan Lemos, who's driving a 97 Toyota. Peter Farrell relocated here from down under, a former sports car racer. As a matter of fact, a former champion. He's raced a little bit of everything, including the Pikes Peak Hillclimb. They'll stage up very carefully, and you can see heads up is the name of the game here with no breakout in these categories. Well, it'll be no contest. Peter Farrell, wire to wire, the number 2 qualifier. He'll pick up the win easily at 10:92, 131. Now, Brett Kepner's down in the pits, and he has more.
Well, Ted, in any one of these heads-up categories, you'll find a lot of imports, but it's not just the engines that came in from across the ocean. As a matter of fact, one of the killers in the Power 6 category this weekend is indeed Kiwi racer Peter Farrell, who indeed has a rather unique background. Where did you get your motorsport start?
Well, I've been in motorsports all my life. Started off in pro rally back in New Zealand, and back in '84 I moved to the United States to pursue rallying. Realized quickly I wasn't going to go anywhere in that form of sport. It's one of the best kept secrets in the United States in motorsport.
Right up there with soccer, unfortunately.
Absolutely. So I went over and became a road racer, and I've had quite a career in IMSA and SCCA pro racing. I was 91 IMSA Firehawk champion, and co-driven a race there with Al Unser Jr. and went on. So I'm a very versatile racer, and after the demise of the IMSA Supercar series, we sold off most of the race team, but we kept Old Faithful here, this RX7 that I've raced for 7 years now in every form of motorsport, including Pikes Peak Hillclimb. And
this car's actually hit the mountain, hasn't it?
Oh yeah, I finished third in '95 in the Pikes Peak Hillclimb with this car, and I finished third in the Long Beach Grand Prix with it, so all in the same year. So then we put it to finish off its life, we made it a drag car, and in fact, it's very stock. This car is not all that far from being street legal, with an exhaust system and well, a few other minor things, and this car could really go on the street. It's all a totally stock driveline, third generation RX7, and it's got a lot of my Peter Farrell Supercar modification products on it. That's what we do during the day is develop performance products for these Mazda RX7s.
But I should point out that a lot of Peter Farrell Supercar parts are strictly Honda pieces.
Well, actually, the Honda, we've just launched into the Honda market this year, and I am going to offer a whole line of upgrades for the Hondas. It's a really big market, and of course the RX7's kind of on its way out a little bit. They haven't sold it for 3 years now, and I've had a real loyal following in that market, but I really do need to look at new things, and I've been extremely impressed by the Hondas and the enthusiasm of the people that own them, and I'm planning on launching a whole line of exciting products for that in the very near future.
So don't kid yourself for a minute. Regardless of the import status of the racers or the race cars, NIRA competition is already international.
Well, indeed it is, Brett. Category, the Power 6-cylinder with power adders. Jay Tanaka from Doraville, Georgia, RX7 against Peter Farrell. We met him, the former road racer, in the near lane, coming right into your living room with that Mazda RX7. He's now based out of Manassas, Virginia. Easy win for Peter Farrell, 10:51, 133 miles per hour. It's a shame Mike Lowe broke. He qualified with a 10:19. It would have been a great final. Let's go to top end.
Nothing feels worse than coming out of those cages on days when your back isn't feeling real good. I know that wasn't the way you wanted to win it, because you wanted a shot at that RX-7, but hey.
Oh, winning's sweet, no matter how you win. And, you know, we've worked hard this year. Greg and Jonathan have been a tremendous support to me. And got to say, my PFS Mazda RX-7's really been kind to me this year. We're actually on the same engine that we started the season with. And, you know, we're making about 568 horsepower with this Mazda RX-7. That's pretty phenomenal. All stock driveline, really a credit to the Mazda RX-7. And I'm excited to win today.
That's a wrap for this week's show and for the 98 season for NIRA. We'll be back with more in 1999. Until then, Ted Jones for Brett Kepner. So long, everyone.